Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Tasty Live. Today we're talking Chipotle Mexican Grill, which has slid a whopping 17% this morning after they cut their same-store sales forecast for the third quarter. They are projecting that they are going to see a decline in same-store sales into the rest of 2025 and potentially beyond. And we wanted to talk a little bit of Chipotle today because we have some very passionate beliefs on Chipotle, on Cava, on the broader bowl slop epidemic, and so we're going to dive into that here. Errol, what's your thoughts on Chipotle versus
Big
Cava?
Fan.
You're a big fan?
Always a big fan of Chipotle. Right after the gym, Chipotle. It's just consistent every time. It's one of those bowls. It is kind of slop. It depends the Chipotle you go to as well. But I was surprised to see Chipotle absolutely beaten down the entire year.
My thing about Chipotle, and I think it's funny you use the word consistency, is I cannot get there with the consistency on Chipotle. That's what's always put me off.
In terms of quality?
In terms of quantity, I suppose the quality is the same, and I think that kind of holds across most Chipotle locations that I've been to. But yeah, it's the amount of food that you get, and I've been saying for years it would be so easy to standardize this. You could do a little food scale that they slide along while they make stuff, and make sure that the portions are exactly right. You can get a more standardized scoop instead of just like a standard spoon the way that they got going, that you can get too much or too little. It's all very strange, but when it came to a head, it was like last year when there was this whole trend where you would have to film your Chipotle employee as they made the thing, and people figured out if you film, they'll give you more food. That was the theory anyway. Right. And so people are walking into Chipotle and filming. They don't even have social media accounts just to try to get the right amount of food. And I think that when you have a push going like that for your company because there is that level of inconsistency, that's very problematic.
I will say, I'm not going to specifically name any, employees, but Chipotle, they give me extra protein every time, right? I don't want to get any of them in trouble because there's some real ones. No, but I get larger portions than I should every time. So the inconsistency on that end works in my favor a little bit. So that's another reason why.
I've absolutely had it happen both ways. Like, it's not like
it happens both ways. It just leans a little bit more to one side for me.
I would say, in my experience, I don't think it does. I mean, I think that's kind of the difference in our experience here. Is like, to me, it's I don't even know how I would quantify a standard size Chipotle bowl at this point because of the inconsistency. But yeah, it's not like it's just either standard size or I feel like it's too little. Sometimes it's way too much as well. I know that there was that guy on YouTube that did Chipotle every day for a year, and he was getting like the exact same burrito every single day and weighing it, and there's like a 2-pound variance from the lightest burrito that he got to the heaviest burrito that he got, and that's pretty insane. It feels like something that they should be able to easily rectify. It's been the problem that's plagued them for a while. I mean, I feel like you ask anybody the main problem with Chipotle, they're going to say the consistency. So yeah, I don't know. It's just that's interesting to me.
I hear you. I mean, along the lines, I know we're going to touch on Cava here in a minute too, but maybe Chipotle and those other competitors are figuring out a way to do it better, because I mean numbers don't lie, and Chipotle is getting beaten down. I mean, trading at $32 now, 40 IV rank. And Cava hasn't been the same story, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, Cava, it hasn't been the same story. I mean, they are, I think, a little bit beaten down on the year holistically, but that said, it's, I think that they are performing holistically better. Also, to the point of Chipotle being beaten down, I think that it shows how great of a CEO Brian Niccol was in the first place, because the second that he leaves, this company just completely crumbles. Starbucks is set to report earnings today as well, I believe, or maybe tomorrow. So interested to see what he's done for them there in recent quarters. It has not been as quick as I thought it would be, the improvement at Starbucks. But yes, to the point about Cava, I've been to Cava maybe twice ever. I don't know. It was always kind of just far away from me in my college town. But I mean, I like it. I liked Cava. I haven't been there enough times to really make a judgment on the consistency thing that I have a problem with at Chipotle. But the selection is much wider and better. I mean, that's the main difference to me about Cava is Chipotle. Obviously, if you like mathematically say, oh well, there's 5 meats and 3 types of rice, and you extrapolate all this out, I'm sure that there's some number of millions of combinations of food that you could theoretically make at Chipotle. But I think that ultimately, your protein is kind of like the focal point of the whole thing, and you can get a little cute with the other stuff that you do. But just holistically, Cava, the number of combinations that you could do and enjoy, I think there's more of them, as opposed to Chipotle, where to really get something different, you may have to sacrifice and get a protein that's not your favorite one time just to actually create some difference there. But Cava has such a wide selection of proteins that I feel like there's something for everybody, and you could switch it up a lot and still get something unique.
That is true. I mean, I just have Cava fatigue. I think I got Cava like 3 times one week, and I was pushing it to 4 one time, and I think like I hit the limit. I was redlining on the Cava, but no, Cava hasn't been as volatile to the downside, and I mean it's trading almost twice the price of Chipotle right now. So I know we have earnings November 4th after the bell on Cava, so we'll see how that plays out. But it's looking like Chipotle is the leader in terms of these bowl slop places, and then kind of the leader in the space in terms of volatility here in the market too. So we'll see. Chipotle's not trading at like $1,000 anymore. It's kind of nice that it's a cheaper stock now, so you can get involved and be a little bit more creative with some of the strategies that you want to do in there.
Yeah, and worth noting, share price aside, Chipotle is a $42 billion company and Cava is 7. So we're still talking about Chipotle being 6 times bigger in
recency
aggregate
bias.
Here. Yeah, sure.
I think we got a little bit of recency.
Yeah, and Cava is definitely growing faster, I would say, on a percentage basis for sure.
So I know down in Tampa too, I didn't know Cava was popping off in other locations as well, but I know all the locations down there, it just got so popular, and it's difficult to tell like when something is just like kind of trending within your area because of social media, and then also like what's actually trending nationally.
Well, it's something that I always think is funny about these. There's been lots of people who have tried to create these companies where you can like invest in products as you buy them, or like I've seen commercials just for like standard stock brokerages where it's like, oh, you see something selling really well in a department store and you want to buy some stock in that company. And honestly, holistically, I don't know that you can invest that way just in a vacuum. Like I don't think that you can just say, oh, I'm seeing this product everywhere. This is something I should buy. Like there has to be some additional research done, because for instance, if you applied that strategy to say iPhones in 2010, obviously this would have worked really incredibly well for you, but there's just as many companies. Cava is a shining example where you might be someone in Errol's situation where you see everybody eating at Cava and it feels like this massive trending thing that must be taking over, but my experience was that people just kind of mentioned Cava once a month while I was in college, and it wasn't ever really like a super prominent thing. I mean, I was aware of it, I knew it was there, but yeah, I think that's sort of an interesting nuanced element.
Every location, there was about 2 or 3 locations, every one was always busy.
Yeah.
And like you could find a line. It was just a matter of which one was going to be quicker for your convenience, for your sake, right?
Sure, yeah.
So Chipotle's a little cheaper.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, Chipotle was a little cheaper right now. I was looking at some of the contracts on the options chain. I was looking at a Zebra, not too attractive right now. I'm going to be a little bit more patient for some other strategies in there based off of what we get for the premiums.
Yeah, for sure. And this, and Errol asked me before we started recording, he said, do you like Cava or Chipotle more? And I said, well, I think it's situational, but I think I would say Chipotle. But then he changed the question and said, what if you had to eat it every day for the rest of your life? And that was where I shifted to Cava, because I feel like the variety at Cava is kind of their strength.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this bowl slap epidemic, it doesn't end with just these 2 restaurants either. I've mentioned before Piatta, which is a smaller restaurant. I'm sure some people out there have heard of it, but it's an Italian place, and it's Italian street food is what they call it. And you can walk along and you can make a bowl or make a wrap of Italian food.
Yeah.
And so people are trying to apply this philosophy to all sorts of businesses. And at some point, it has to become a little bit too saturated, because, if you're say somebody who eats out often, say 5 times a week, are you really going to go get various bowls like every single time?
Yeah.
I don't think that you are. Sometime you're going to want to chop that up. You're going to want a pizza or a burger, or even something on the healthy side. Maybe you want a chicken breast with some risotto, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that I think it's too challenging to eat bowls every single day, and we are nearing a tipping point on the bowl slop market.
I agree. Bowl slop fatigue.
Yes, bowl slop fatigue. I agree. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got today. Be interesting to see what Chipotle does into today's market action. Obviously, a giant dive before open here. Just yesterday on air, we were discussing Chipotle and how it might be a buy at those levels. So now that we've dipped to even lower levels, perhaps that just furthers that thesis. Yeah,
I mean, $32. Come on.
But it's like this one. I think it's a substantiated move, though. I mean, if they're saying they expect same store sales to weaken, it's not like things are getting any better.
I think I'd seen a headline the other day was talking about how a lot of college students are stepping away from Chipotle during this time because of many reasons, but it was talking about it was really targeted towards that age group, and I think that shows how Chipotle was also a more feasible option in terms of finances as well. So to see something like Chipotle slow down, and Chipotle was an option that was on the cheaper end, I think it'd be kind of telling at the same time.
Well, I think a lot of fast food and fast casual food really has the prices have accelerated to a point that I think that they're going to cannibalize themselves. I mean, the example that I always give is, if I go to McDonald's right now, Big Mac meal, fries, drink is like $12, $13.
Yeah, you could go anywhere.
Oh, yeah,
else, right?
you could go. I mean, there's places I could sit down. I mean, why would I pay $13 for McDonald's when I could go sit down in, a Chili's and be waited on and have bottomless chips and salsa and all this stuff and get out of there for $22?
Yeah.
It's just
not 2 for $20 at that.
Yeah,
we both
2 for $20. They got that 3 for $10 combo at Chili's right now. It's insane. I mean, that's their whole thing. Is they're like, ditch the drive-through burger. No, we got this thing for $10, and it's true. They just make a good point. So, yeah, a lot of people getting priced out of the fast food market. These prices have kind of run away. It's insane. I mean, literally just But like I remember while I was in high school, there was like when I was in high school, there was numerous restaurants that I could get more food than I could eat for $6 for real, and there's none.
I was walking on the way over here. You know, there's a McDonald's outside the building. On one of the walls, I think it says, it had 4 items, and it said everything on this wall is under $4.
Sure.
And I was like, bro, I feel like at one point in the future, the attractive number to look at is going to be anything that's 1 digit. They're going to be like anything under $10 eventually is going to get to that point to where it's like our minds are going to be conditioned to think anything that's cheap is at least, it's got to be a single digit. So $9 is going to be the same as 2 or 1. It's going to feel the same.
Oh yeah, and that conditioning absolutely is happening too, because I saw a commercial the other day for KFC's new chicken sandwich, and they keep advertising how good the price is, and it's $3.99. Yeah. And it's like $3.99. I wouldn't have thought that was cheap, 5 years ago at all, but now $3.99 for a chicken sandwich, when I can juxtapose that to a McChicken, which is like $3 now. I can't believe that. There's no way I would get a McChicken over a nice large KFC chicken sandwich if it's $1 more. But yeah, I mean McChickens are another thing. Those were $1 forever. $1 McChickens. Tough, the way that I bulked in college was like I would do 6 McChickens a day. Like when I was trying to go from skinny to like really big, I had a McDonald's in my neighborhood. I'd pass it twice a day. 3 McChickens, 3 McChickens down the hatch. $6, easy bulk. And now you just can't do that anymore. That's an $18 a day expense for like 2 meals now.
100%. And I even think back at being in middle school, after we would leave the school, we had a McDonald's right there, and I remember we just scrounge up some change. Like we'd have $1. I remember we would find like 2 quarters. That was like 2 cookies or 4. I was like, yo, and it was like the best time. You got another $1, you get a large drink. I remember the large fries. If you had the McDonald's app, it was like $1 or $2. And it was just like, even as a middle school kid, it just came in clutch.
No, yeah, you could put together enough money, and now it's just people are getting priced out and choosing to sit down, and I don't blame them. I mean, I'm doing
pricing
the same
out
thing.
These middle schoolers.
Yeah, pricing out the college kids. I mean, that's how this conversation starts. 100%. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. Prices are going through the roof. But anyway, I don't know that I think Chipotle is a buy. I think that people often, when people will slash revenue growth targets, like say, oh, we're taking our revenue growth target from 10% down to 5%, and stocks dive, that never worries me as much because you're still growing. But when Chipotle straight up says, we expect to shrink in the next quarter, we expect our revenue to get lower, that's problematic.
We're telling you, hey, don't get upset, don't get mad. We told you guys.
And that's... Yes, and that's an important differentiator. They are not saying we are going to grow slower. They are saying we are going to shrink. And I think that people often conflate those two things, and they shouldn't.
100%. No, with that being said, we'll see how these two things play out. So
yeah, that we will. That's all we got for this morning. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Good luck if you're trading Chipotle, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.